How you going, brothers? And the occasional sister joining us today on the Project Club. 2 videos again in one day. We're going pig hunting, and I'm not making a pig hunting video, I'm just having a quick talk about EVs. It's been going around in my head all weekend since we've been talking about it. And when you get up into this country, just been down in the riverbed, we're back onto the main road going into the hunt zone, you start to realise that an EV is never going to cut it as far as off-road, 4-wheel drive. It just isn't. Maybe the future technology, but today's standards, it's not going to happen. And I've been thinking about EVs, and I've been thinking about the cost and what it actually really saves you, and what there is to gain and what there isn't. And one of the things I've been thinking about is the tyres, because EVs are incredibly heavy, and how much tyres do you use up? Do you use up more than you use one of these? You must do, surely you must, because the weight of it, the curb when you're going around, and the pressure on the curb and every corner, it's got to be twice as much. That ute that I looked at, the Chinese one, I think it's like 2.5 tonne. That's like a Toyota Land Cruiser, not a Toyota ute. Old pace is starting to get a bit of scent. Good boy. So no, I won't be getting a four-wheel drive. Electric vehicle. Not at all. We're about 5 minutes from the actual hunt zone where I want to go today. This is the last day of the hunting season. The forestry have been open, and normally I take young boys. Today I'm doing it alone. I want to just finish off with a hunt by myself, because I've been taking boys all season, and to be honest, it's hard trying to catch a pig with 3 noisy boys slamming doors and talking in the truck and talking out of the truck. And we still caught a few pigs, but it's pretty difficult. I just wanted to go with my dogs and have a bit of me time in the scrub. So I won't be getting an electrical car or an EV or electric ute. Well, I might get an electric car, but not a 4-wheel drive for doing this. Just not going to happen. Maybe the technology changes, but by then I'll be such an old fart I probably won't be going in the bush on a regular basis anymore. I think there's a place for having a car. My dad had a Leaf for a lot of years, and it was good, it was cheap to run, but I don't know what the cost analysis really is. I know the world's pushing towards it, and maybe the price of diesel and fuel and petrol gets so high that it's just something I can't justify owning and running, but right now I can, and so that's what I'll be doing. I'll either fix up the old one I've got, or I'll buy a new one and also fix the old one I've got and use that as a project, because it needs a fair bit of work done to it. And when you're going out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, you've got to have a truck you can rely on. Now this is still a good truck for what I do. I've broken 4 struts on it so far. It's got a few things that are a bit suspicious, sus on it. One would be the fuel gauge, the cluster, and it's already crapped out, and that's a factory problem. And I nearly got stuck. I was going on a hunt, and on the way out there it broke, and my mate Simon came and picked me up. If I didn't have him to pick me up, I would have been stuffed. So it's also 10 years old, and it's had a pretty good thrashing in 10 years. Having said that, it's only got 153,000 on the clock, because all I've used it for is hunting. But I have used it for what it's designed for, and that's off-road, and it's done a lot of hard yards, so it's still in good nick. And I'll probably pass it on to one of my children, because both my children are into adventure sports. They're both into whitewater kayaking, whitewater rafting, abseiling, and I might pass it on to my daughter for her business. She's also going to start working as cutting down trees as a tree surgeon, or I might pass it on to my son, or I might pass it on to my youngest daughter, depending on what they're doing, just to help them on their way. I'm not sure yet. Depends on what I can afford to do. It all comes down to money, doesn't it? But I've always wanted a V8 Land Cruiser, and I don't care. Life is just too bloody short to drive an electrical bloody 4-wheel drive vehicle. Unless they come out with something really amazing in the next couple of years, I don't think I'll be buying one. I really appreciate all your comments on it. I am going to investigate it a bit more. One of you wrote a really cool comment saying, don't listen to too much what non-mainstream media people say, and don't listen too much to what mainstream media say. Use your own thinking. And yes, I will draw my own conclusions and do my own due diligence, but I also really appreciate the feedback from you guys. It's really valuable, and thank you very much for it. Right, I'm going to be out of range in a minute. There's the view from down there. We're way up high, I'll flick this online. Hopefully you'll get it. You might not, because I'm going to be out of range very shortly, and we're going to start pig hunting. You have a great week, guys, and thanks for hearing us out. And go steady and check on a brother. Anything out there, Pace, eh? Anything out there, boy? Hey? Anything out there, mate? He's just going back and forward and back and forward and back and forward. It's the end of the season, so I don't think we're going to get anything. And now we're into the place where the pigs are likely to be on this left-hand side. There's some really nice scrub up here. It's the sort of place that holds a pig. Pace is hanging out the window. I'll let you know in the next Bro Check Club video if we actually got anything or not. And if I do, I'll make a video and I'll put it on Patreon, because it'll have blood and guts and all the stuff I can't put on public. But if we get onto something, it's going to be along here or further down when we hit Long Gully Road. See you later, guys, and the occasional girl.